everybody got to see the great Terence Crawford do something that was unheard of and unthinkable, and it would be stamped in the history books forever. He'd probably be thicker, but I'm taller. You know, he have his strong points in the fight. I have mine, so that's why you fight the fight. How Terence going to do going up 2 more weight classes into new territory to dethrone the.
Terence Crawford has revealed his strategic game plan ahead of his highly anticipated fight with Canelo Alvarez this September. However, Crawford mentioned that he doesn't feel any particular way about the matchup just yet, as the fight hasn't taken place. He does believe, though, that it will be an exciting event when the time comes. According to Crawford, a showdown with Canelo would be the biggest fight in boxing right now, featuring 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers facing off. Crawford acknowledged that fans are eager to see how he performs as he steps up 2 weight classes to challenge the undisputed champion in a new weight division.
I feel anything at the moment because nothing is there yet. But when the time comes, it's going to be exciting. I think me and Canelo will make for a great fight. I think it's the best fight in boxing right now. And you got 2 first ballot Hall of Famers going head to head with each other. And everybody want to see how Terence going to do going up 2 more weight classes into new territory to dethrone the undisputed.
Carmamel Mouton commented that moving up to 168 lbs is a significant step for Terence Crawford, and he's uncertain how the transition will play out. He believes the fight could resemble Crawford's bout with Spence, but with Crawford being more active, throwing more punches, and utilizing his footwork to box on his toes. If Crawford can execute that strategy, he might be able to outbox Canelo and earn a close decision. Mouton also pointed out that Canelo has struggled against fighters who are elusive and move well. However, he acknowledged that Canelo might be able to pressure Crawford, especially if Crawford has difficulty adjusting to the added weight and power at 168 lbs. In the end, Mouton emphasized that both fighters are exceptional, and he's simply excited to see the matchup unfold.
That's a big jump for Crawford, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like it could go similar to the fight how it just went with Skull, but with Crawford throwing a little bit more punches and then, you know, getting on his toes, boxing, and then he letting his hands go more. So he might be able to edge a decision out against Canelo, outbox him. So I feel like Canelo struggle with fighters that are good on their feet. And or there's a possibility that Canelo, you know, walks him down and Crawford doesn't really adapt to the weight and the power up at 68. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. But I know both of them are real great fighters. I'm just excited.
Terence Crawford dismissed the concerns from fans who believe he's too small to face Canelo Alvarez, saying that many are simply echoing opinions they've heard from others. He noted that a lot of fans don't think critically for themselves and, instead, follow popular opinions they see online. Crawford also pointed out that Canelo is often the smallest fighter in his own division at 168 pounds.
I just think a lot of people is adopting other people's thoughts.
Okay, the group think.
Yeah, okay. You know, a lot of people not thinking for themselves. They just.
You can say that about a lot in today's day and age. You know,
they hear something on social media and then they just run with it.
Like, man, trust me, I know. Yeah. I've been known. Canelo's a bigger guy. I've seen Canelo in person. Yeah. Even for him, 168 is a big weight class.
Facts. And he's always the smallest person.
Crawford used the example of Alexander Usyk defeating Tyson Fury to illustrate that size isn't everything in boxing. Despite Fury being the much larger man, Usyk came out victorious. Crawford added that while people might assume Canelo is the bigger fighter, he's not entirely convinced. Canelo may be thicker, but Crawford is taller. He emphasized that both fighters have their own strengths, and that's precisely why the fight needs to happen, to determine who truly comes out on top.
You got Usyk fighting Tyson Fury. You know, Tyson Fury was the massive fighter over Usyk, and, you know, the bigger guy didn't win neither fight. So I just think in this case, a lot of people is just going off of other people's opinion. Oh, well.
I'm not even so sure Canelo will be a bigger guy.
He'd probably be thicker, but I'm taller. You know, he have his strong points in the fight. I have mine, so that's why you.
Raleigh Romero, however, believes that weight will play a significant role in the fight. He stated that anyone who thinks Terence Crawford has a chance against Canelo Alvarez is completely misguided. Romero argued that weight classes exist for a reason and that Canelo is simply too big and too skilled. In his opinion, this matchup isn't about skill, it's all about size, and he believes Crawford doesn't stand a chance because of it.
Canelo, we got Terence Crawford. That's going to happen in the fall. It's going to happen here in Sin City, your hometown. How do you feel about that matchup?
Anyone that thinks Crawford has a chance is a complete idiot. They have weight classes for a reason.
Too big? Too skilled?
Way too big, way too skilled. And it's just in a skill matchup. It has nothing to do with skill.
However, Terence Crawford concluded that defeating Canelo Alvarez would mean everything to him, as it would symbolize the culmination of all the hard work he's put into his career. He said that night would showcase his greatness by accomplishing something many thought was impossible, and it would forever be etched in the history books.
And it'll mean everything. You know, it'll be everything that I worked hard for in my whole career, coming out in that one moment, you know, that one night of boxing that everybody got to see the great Terence Crawford do something that was unheard of and unthinkable. And it would be stamped in the history books forever.
For sure.
So that's what I think about.
Moreover, Teofimo Lopez expressed his support for the fans, stating that they want to see the best fight the best, even if Terence Crawford has to move up 3 weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez, the king and face of boxing. Lopez believes it would still be an exciting matchup. However, he's picking his stablemate Canelo to win. As for how the fight might unfold, Lopez thinks it could end in a late knockout, but if not, he believes it could be over within 6 rounds.
To be honest, first and foremost, you know, I favor the fans. The fans, we want to see a great fight. We want to see the best fight the best. Even if the Crawford got to go up 3 weight classes to face the best and the king in the face of boxing of Canelo Alvarez. But I'm still going to go with my stablemate, Canelo Alvarez, with the win. Now, what decision? I think it's a late knockout. If not, it might end in...
Terence Crawford recently shared his mindset regarding his boxing future, emphasizing his approach of taking things one step at a time. He made it clear that he doesn't overcomplicate things or get ahead of himself. Crawford's main priority right now is his upcoming fight this Saturday. He wants to see how things play out in that bout before making any decisions about the future. Crawford's approach is grounded in living in the present moment. Rather than looking too far ahead or planning out his entire career, he's focused on the task at hand, treating each fight as its own challenge. He doesn't want to rush into decisions, allowing the outcome of each fight to guide his next steps. Crawford has always been known for his mental clarity, and this philosophy reflects that calm and calculated approach. When asked about his long-term plans, Crawford explained that if things go well this Saturday, he will then start to think about his next move. However, he stressed that everything depends on the result of the fight and that he is not dwelling on what comes after. Crawford noted that if he achieves success in his upcoming bout, he will look forward to future opportunities. But for now, his full attention is on the present moment, preparing for the fight and ensuring he performs at his best. He also shared his belief that everything happens for a reason, and with the support of faith, he trusts that the next steps will reveal themselves as they come. God willing, if he walks away victorious, he will consider his options moving forward. However, he is clear that his immediate concern is not about planning for the future, but about executing a solid performance on fight night. In an era where many fighters and fans are quick to speculate about the next big matchup or potential career-ending decisions, Crawford's perspective is a refreshing reminder of the importance of focusing on the present. His approach is one that values preparation and patience, trusting that the right opportunities will come at the right time. Crawford's mentality also highlights his maturity as a fighter. Instead of being swept up in the hype or letting external pressures dictate his decisions, he remains calm and focused, sticking to the process. He understands that success in boxing, as in life, comes from taking things one day at a time and making the most of each opportunity as it arises. Overall, Terence Crawford's focus on the present and his refusal to rush into future decisions shows his wisdom and discipline. For now, all that matters is Saturday's fight, and once that is behind him, he will look ahead with clarity and purpose. But until then, he remains firmly in the moment, ready for whatever comes his way.
Overthink anything, so first thing first is to see what happens this Saturday, and then we go into that situation.
Okay.
And God willing, we come out successful, and then we move to the next situation. But we don't overstep anything.